But first is a training on how to consistently find new customers to invite with confidence. So please help me welcome back to the stage, Rancha Trick. Rancha, come on down.
Can you hear me? Are we good? All right. It's so wonderful going right after lunch because I know you're in that food coma right now. But we've got a great message for you today. And it's a great panel with amazing ladies here. And the topic is Invite with Confidence to expand your business naturally and confidently. So the first person I'd like to bring up on our panel is Susan Risco. She's from St. Catharines, and she's been with Nature Sunshine since 1992. 23 years in this amazing business. She's a solid manager. She's an informed coach. She's fantastic at getting people to events. So welcome Susan to the stage. Thank you. Come on, people, give it up. Let's go. There we go. That's better. Next up, we have Tina Knocker. She's from Bruxelles, Manitoba, and has been with Nature Sunshine since November of 2013. Just a baby in the business. And she's already a silver manager, an informed coach, a Rising Star winner, as well as an I-Inspire trip winner. She's currently number 11 in the I-Inspire contest for Alaska. And she is so passionate about the product, and she's amazing at talking about the business and inspiring people to join her team. So let's give it up for Tina. And next up, we have Kathy Dean from Lumby, BC. And she's been with Nature Sunshine since 1992, also 23 years. She's a gold manager, an informed coach, an I-Inspire trip winner. She's currently number 5 in the I-Inspire trip standings for Alaska. That's awesome. And she does a fantastic job of training her people, inspiring them, and being an example for them to follow. So let's welcome Kathy to the stage. All right. Well, we have some questions that we're going to ask you, lovely ladies. So we'll start off with me. How do you find customers, clients, and business partners?
Well, that's an easy one for me because I am a practitioner and I have been for almost 40 years. But I do take advantage of listening to people anywhere I am. I have that art of listening. And when individuals have a concern, everyone's complaining about something, and we have the answer, so you want to make sure that you have your card with you so that you can pass it along and talk to them at another time. And referrals, I find that when you're networking with people and when you have developed a good name for yourself, people refer to you.
My client base is by more word of mouth. I have started more on Facebook, advertising that way. But most of it has been just word of mouth and just from being passionate, whoever I come across, or if they come into my yard, or if I'm out in the store, because I'm on the farm in the middle of nowhere. So if we have a repairman or the milkman comes, they all hear about what I'm doing. And yeah, it just seems to go like that. And for business associates, I'm also a taffy coach, so once I train them, then they will also come on board sometimes, and that's how I'm building my managers, and yeah.
Well, of course, I agree with the personal approach. No matter who you meet, you should automatically give them a big smile and just ask them how their day is going and get a conversation going, and one way or another, get your foot in there about talking about Nature Sunshine or the programs you teach or whatever. One thing that came to mind just sitting here now, and I have her with me, is Lisa Lancaster, and she is a manager now. She's her first time here for this convention and a manager. And I should have Lisa up here to tell a story because I'm sure I wouldn't tell it quite right for her. But I met Lisa at a gathering we were at, and a social gathering with some people. And I looked into Lisa's eyes and thought, oh my gosh. Has that girl got some liver problems or what? And then Lisa started telling me about her knee that she had had surgery on and it didn't heal. So anyway, I thought, well, here you go. You know, you never miss an opportunity. I spoke about our silver gel and how quickly that could heal her knee. But I said, Lisa, I don't know you, but I'm going to be honest with you. Your eyes tell me you have a real liver situation that needs to be dealt with. Turns out that Lisa is a painter with her husband, and she did have liver problems. So, of course, we started cleansing and building, And the next thing, Lisa's friends started to have in-home health presentations because Lisa was having such success. And within, I don't know, it was a matter of a month, Lisa, or something, you became a manager? I think so, 1 month. You're holding your finger up 1 month? And then the next in-home health presentation that we did there, and I think Donna Roth went with me on that one, we ended up with her, not just Lisa, who was a manager now, but 2 of her other people also became managers. So invite, 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 smile, ask them how they're doing, and then go from there.
You do a lot of smiling, I can tell.
Okay, next question. What types of tools do you use to acquire customers?
Tools. I know a lot of people are using social media. I'm a little behind in becoming familiar with computers, but I have jumped on the train. So I'm looking for individuals that will help me and assist me in this. The facts and benefit sheets, I found that over the years have been very helpful in getting the information into their hands, and then they can decide for themselves as to what they want to do or direct them to the website that we have for Nature Sunshine. Another tool that I've used, and I don't know if you would call this a tool, I engage in trade fairs, and I really think that the company is very generous in supporting any effort that we make with donating gift baskets, paying for part of the cost of the table. And it gives us a lot of exposure with regards to who we are because people are looking for who we are. And just recently I was in a trade fair and I probably had the most ballots in the draw box out of all the exhibitors there because people want to know things and they want to ask questions. And if you spend the time with people, then they're really knowing that you're sincere because they know you can help them.
The tools I use would be social media like Instagram and Facebook, emails, also the trade fairs as well. I've done a few, and then also will do them with my business associates to help them to get to manager. So if we do it in their area, then they get the points and the people that come. And in-home parties as well is good tools, and the BioTracker is good too. Like right now with the dairy and my kids, I don't really have the time to do an Inform, so we're hoping to pursue that more later on. But the BioTracker is an awesome way just to get people's attention and get them involved, and so that's a good tool. And the Zytoscan too works really well.
Mine's got kind of a long background story there because for a number of years, close to 30, I was a clinical practitioner. So a lot of my business came from word of mouth again, and people from all around the world would even come, and I never did advertise a lot. But when I turned 65 years young, I decided I was, one, going to retire and just take a leave of absence, but I ended up on the iInspire cruise. And on that cruise, I had so many people come up and inspire me on what they were doing out in the field and having fun and getting all these awards and getting all these trips. I thought, that's it. I'm going to change my pattern. So we started, my husband and I, and he's a real backbone in what I do. I got 2 good coaches. One is sitting here with me, by the way, and Donna Roth, and they started coaching me. And literally, I went out, I did a lot of fairs. We did so many fairs last year that I lost count. And some of them were very expensive, and some of them were very cheap. I would encourage you all to find your cheaper ones, your little Christmas shows or whatever are going on, because really those ones ended up probably the most beneficial. We ended up doing workshops. I ended up becoming an Informed coach, of course, and teaching that. I teach a lot of Donna Roth's program, Taking Action for Your Health. And our body systems questionnaires and our Brilliant Body by Kim Ballas and our body systems questionnaire by Stephen Horn is such a valuable tool, When I do a show, nobody gets by without walking out with a body systems questionnaire. And we either answer it right at that fair, or if we're too busy, we give it to them and say, look it, you phone me and you're going to get a free mini consultation out of that. So then that's part of the tools we use. A number of you have been asking me, how did we accomplish 26 preferred customers, I think it was, and 8 business associates at our last fair? And this was kind of a unique experience because it was a very small town. I think it's probably about maybe 3,000 people. So I got a phone call to go into that fair because they'd heard of Kathy Dean, which was very nice. And first I hesitated and thought, oh, it'll be so small. It's only one day. You got to pack up. You got to prepare. I mean, any of you have done fairs and shows, you know the time and effort you put into it. But I prayed about it and got to go. So then I also prayed, well, what can I do different? Because as you know, sometimes you're lucky at these fairs and sometimes you're not. But you don't miss an opportunity because it doesn't matter whether it's 1 or 100. That one can make a difference. So what I did was about 15 years ago, when my late husband had passed away, a number of you know him, James, and when he did, and I took a sabbatical for about a year or so, everybody kept saying, Kathy, we need your help, we need your help. And I said, okay, the only way I'm going to get back in the wagon here to help you is if whoever does a cleanse and pass parasites or worms, they put them in a jar for me and pickle them, right? And if you happen to pass gallstones or something, they also go in a jar. Well, I'll tell you, in 4 months, I had more jars you'd think I'd been canning all summer. So I thought, well, I got all these little parasites and worms floating around, so I packed up some of them more that I figured people could handle to look at jars. And we took them to this fair, and I set them out on a shelf. Gunnar had a nice shelves there for me. And on top were the jars of the gallstones and the parasites and the worms and thread worms and nice variety for everybody to look at. And when we get to the fair, I'm going to go into this a little bit better because I know a lot of you are asking, what do you do? The first thing, I'm really blessed to have Gunnar because he is a fire constitution, loves people, fast, and never quits talking, right? So while I'm setting up a lot of stuff, he automatically takes off, meets everybody at the booths, introduces himself, talks about Nature Sunshine, talks about his wife, builds her up way too much as far as I'm concerned. But people already there have that energy in the room. They're already feeling about who I am. And most of those people, I think that's where we pretty much got our 8 business associates from, was from the tables that were at that fair. And then what happened with the PCs, the preferred customers, they would come and look at those jars and those bottles, and they'd say, what are those? Well, hello. Nice question to ask. So immediately go into the importance of cleansing. Oh, I don't want to cleanse. Well, hello. Do you clean your dogs? Do you clean your cats? And you know, people walked, we had the Clean Start, no, not the Clean Start, the Tayo HE Pack. I was wishing I had the Clean Start. The Tayo HE Pack, the Parapack, and the Candida. And just quickly, do you eat a lot of sugar? If they did, they got the Candida. Do you travel a lot to other countries? We gave them the Parapack. Do you have a bit of a liver problem or something like that, or they need to support their liver if they're in a bit of a weakened condition? Gave them the Tayo Pack, and out the door they went. So that's how we ended up with that one, and it was a great success. Another thing is that the in-home health presentations, what I do now is literally, I'll put on YouTube, a real good one that you can all look up is the National Geographic. And they've, on parasites. And literally, when you look at that YouTube, they start interviewing people about, do you think you have them or don't you? And I said to Donna, I said, I'm going to start showing this at in-home health presentations because people really need to realize the importance to cleanse. And Donna said, oh, you can't do that. And I said, oh, yes, I can. Anyway, I did. And I mean, I think Lisa and them sold over $2,000 that night at their in-home health presentation. So lots of tools. The other great one, you all know, most of you, about the Chinese mineral qi tonic. You take that, I have a light that we plug into the wall with a 100-watt light bulb on. The prongs are hanging out instead of the switch, and we take the wires and put them into the Chinese mineral chi tonic, and it lights up a 100-watt light bulb. And I always have that at fairs. And Chinese mineral chi tonic goes.
Wow, that was awesome. Yeah, definitely deserves a round of applause. I'm glad you know that those are labeled. I don't know if I'd be scared to go in her kitchen cupboard there and see all those jars. Freak me out. All right. What do you say when signing up others to join your group, your business?
Well, there's a couple of opportunities now that I take advantage of. Number one, being a practitioner. Again, you're listening carefully because the supplement world is so competitive and a lot of people are on supplements. So sometimes you have clients come in and they're bringing literally shopping bags full of supplements where they're taking them for a short period of time and not getting results, and then they're stockpiling. So you're listening to what they're saying, and now you have to switch their mind over. So we talked a lot about mindset today, changing the mind over. So we learned by coming out to meetings and conventions that 85% of the products that are being manufactured today are third party. So thank you to Linda Hammonds for all the information that she gives to us, because that's a really powerful tool to help convince people through our passion for the company that the product is pure, the company has integrity, the original founders are still with the company, and and how the company started. So I always go back to grassroots. As far as the Inform is concerned, all the coaches out there know that your participants now are going to want the product. So for that, it's an easy kind of sale, I guess, if you want to use that term, to bring them onto the company, because everyone likes to get a discount on product. People who are busy like to have the product delivered to their own home. And we're not a real raw push company either. The product sells itself. So in that sense, it's fairly easy. You just have to listen to what people have to say, and if they are or not getting the results that they want, or if they've been on products for a long time and they're not feeling any different, then that says something about the product that they're taking, because these products with Nature Sunshine actually change people's lives. And anyone who's been with the company for a very long time had the struggle. And that's why we were involved with the company in the first place. And then over time, we're now walking testimonies of who we are as individuals in today's world. And people are attracted to that. They want to know why you have so much energy. Why do you look younger than what you are? Those types of questions, they start to attract themselves to you because your energy levels are higher. So just remember that when we take our products, because people do notice that we are different.
My focus is on TAFI. I'm a TAFI coach, which is Donna Roth's program, Taking Action for Your Health. So what I offer and what I say to them is they can buy from me at retail. If they take TAFI, I will give them 10% off from the products I store in my home. Otherwise, they can join up and go on Sunshine Rewards for 20% off, or also sign up 10% as a preferred customer. That's the choices that I give them. And yeah, so I've been getting a lot of Sunshine Rewards with that, just through the TAFI program, and they love it.
Great, I confirm all what she said there too. When somebody comes on board for me or I'm signing them up, one of the biggest things for me is I feel so humbled and I feel so honored. And I let people know that, and the other thing I let them know, there isn't anybody that comes to me that I don't believe that has not been godly sent. I pray about everybody I am supposed to see. I don't know what your walk is. I'm just telling you what I do. And when I do that, then when I meet that people, and I don't care what their religion is or what their walk is, I let them know that before I ever seen them, I'd already prayed about them, so I was pretty excited about them being here. And then with that, as I sign them up, I go pretty much through what Tina did here. It's about education, so how can you educate them? And there's lots of, we have the habit of health, we have the body systems questionnaires, we have the Zyto scanner, and we have those that go into Taffy, and of course we have our Inform. So we have such a beautiful variety, we can meet everybody's needs. But the biggest thing is, I just let them know that I really care, and then how can I be a part of their journey?
How do you encourage your group members to share the opportunity?
Well, this may be a little difficult for some, and now that we have heard about KISS, I would say that I'm not the easiest person to duplicate, so it was a little difficult to get people to stay on and to recruit others. But now that we have the Inform program, it's a lot easier to be able to do that. And with sincerity, we have to start applying, even with all of the different speakers that Nature Sunshine has used in the last couple of years. We probably all remember Big Al from the last couple of years. Well, I bought his program and I listened to his CDs in the car a lot, and you probably remember the line, most people, right? Most people hate their job, right? And everyone is already thinking about, yeah, I don't like my job, yeah, it must be most people, that type of thing. Those are really key phrases in order to get individuals to think about what they're doing, and how we can help them help others with regards to residual income. And there was something that I learned at this convention, that if everybody in this room reached silver or above, right, the residual income of 22 years is a lifetime, really, of working in addition to doing whatever else that you're doing. So that's really encouraging for me.
For my group members, I make it that I am there for them all the time when they need me, through text, email, phone calls. If they need help just in direction of what to give clients that they're just meeting, because they're starting the same as I did. Just we start with the BSQ, handing that out, and then make their ABCD program, and it works and it gets results. And so I make sure that I'm always accessible to guide them and help them. I send out emails just to, and I'm working on that more as well, because I think it's really important. Even after Taffy, there's so much fear amongst the herbs yet, that you have to keep reinforcing into people just that this is nutrition. It's not medicine, so don't be so afraid of it. And so I find that you have to work with your group yet to instill that and let that fear go away. And then through that fear going away through them, then they start helping others as well. And so I find that really important, to be there all the time for my team and my group.
I'm trying to think different ways of sharing the opportunity. I believe that was the question. One of the biggest things, and we heard it here yesterday, was telling stories. Like, success stories tell it all. And one thing I never did, or very rarely, I was weak at for years, I mean, I've been in this business for 30 years, is I did not always write down my success stories. But when Donna started coaching me, Rancha started coaching me. By the way, Rancha will coach you guys too if you want. I literally, one of the key things that Donna said was, you need to write your success stories down. Well, I think in 1 month, we ended up with something like 72 success stories. So, and you can't always recall them. So there you are. I have a book, and what I do now is I have my computer up and running. I keep my success story page up, and as somebody phones, I automatically write that success story down. And my husband Gunner's a really good example. When I met him, he was wheelchair bound. And now, I mean, he's 76 years old, and no wheelchair bound, no medications, and in excellent health. So there's a success story that really reaches people's hearts. And Gunner tells everybody that success story, so that attracts people. The other thing I do that, of course, you know, I've gone from clinical into this aspect of what I do, is make sure they know the business opportunity. You know, what about residual income? We live in an era of time where everything is skyrocketing in price. And I know for a fact my pension doesn't cover what I do. If I didn't have nature sunshine, I'd probably be out in the food bank there getting a free meal. So offer people the opportunity, and one way of doing that we do is when we teach the program at the TAFE program we're talking about, Taking Action for Your Health, but you can teach your program however you want, is at the end of that program we have a graduation celebration, and then we offer them the opportunity to be a certified teacher of leading others on their journey to health, of transforming the health of nations. And literally, at that point, it makes that person make a commitment as to whether they really want to go into a business. So you've already had 2 months of teaching them, educating them, and training them on the product line, how to get their health in line, and then at the end of that 2 months, you then have the opportunity to develop them and ask them if they would like to go into business. And really, that's how we're kind of booming with that, because a really good example, and I'm going to go back to fairs again, because I didn't used to do fairs. And one fair I did last year, the Shoporama Fair, I don't know if you get them out here, but that's what it was called there. And one of the gals that came to me had gone for years to different doctors and things and had major health issues. And we did the BSQ and said, look, I can see where you need to do this, this, and this. We followed the ABCs. You know, I love that ABC program of Stephen Horns. You know, such an honor to have him here. You know, activate, build, and cleanse, deal direct. And literally, that woman left her people that were taking care of her, the doctors or whatever she had, went on program, ended up taking the TAFE program. Very quiet woman, very shy. You'd never think of her being active, super active in a business. And at the end of her 2 months, she'd been on thyroid medications for 28 years. And she no longer was on thyroid meds. And she even went to the doctor, and the doctor's test her and said, got to be giving you right amount, because boy, is it ever good. Right? So then what happened, she said, I really think, yes, I do want to teach others and lead others and be a part of this transforming the health of nations. And she is leading her first TAFE class right now as I've left. And she became a manager too last month.
Thank you. And just to pick up on that, those of you at Bronze Academy heard about this lovely lady, Dixie. And she calls her the Thai food queen. And Dixie hit manager by just selling Thai Fu. The lotion, right? The Thai Fu lotion.
Dixie will get me after for this, but I'll tell you, every time I turned around, she said, I sold another bottle of Thai Fu. I said, Dixie, you gotta be kidding. And she said, no. And I said, do you know you only need to sell this many and you could make manager? Well, cracky doodle, she said, order me that many. And guess what? She sold them, and it didn't matter whether where are you, Dixie? Wave your hand or something. You're here. There, way to go. I love you. She literally, it didn't matter whether she was in Walmart. It didn't matter whether she was in Staples. It didn't matter whether it was her friends or it wasn't. If she seen somebody kind of walking with an ache, sold them a bottle of Thai Fu. So we literally called Dix the Thai Fu queen, and I wish you had a picture here to put up here, but we have Dixie with a crown on her head, like the Thai Fu queen, with the Thai Fu beside her, and that is on Facebook. She doesn't know I got it in quite a few other places, too. She thinks it's just on Facebook, but it is everywhere, and it says, contact the Thai Fu queen to get some Thai Fu lotion, and then it gives a little breakdown on what it does for you.
That's awesome. I just wanted to share that story. Thank you. Yes. Because just being so passionate about using one product and just sharing that with every single person, and boom, she became manager. Yeah, it's fantastic. Christine Lennox is out there. Where are you, Christine? Wave. There she is, standing up back there. Many of you asked, how the heck did she sell 114 bags of Nature's Harvest in 3 months? That was amazing. And she'll tell you, focus. I talked to everybody, told them about it. They sampled it. I gave them the fact sheet. I gave them postcards. I just talked and talked and talked. 114 bags. And set your goals. Yes, exactly. And she came back, and I was just talking to her on the past weekend, and guess what? All those people are reordering. She sold like 73 bags in a couple of days. It's awesome. And Dixie's people are reordering. So fantastic. Just awesome. All right, final question here, ladies. What do you do to keep your customers, associates, managers engaged in the business?
Well, I guess it all starts with us personally. And when we have sincere appreciation for different people that we bring into our organization, we develop a bond with people. And when you develop a bond, you have to spend time with people. And so it doesn't happen automatically. This could be, years or months in the making. Some of us run faster than others. But I found personally, I like to have, I call them my friends because they are my friends. They do become your family because we are a family here. Nature Sunshine is a huge believer in who we are as individuals and the bond that we have amongst each other. But I really appreciate by giving small gifts. And we're probably all gift givers here at some point. So that could be a luncheon with somebody. That may be a free product for somebody that comes into your office that day because you just want to, not because you have to. And it comes from the heart, and they say that if you don't have it here, you don't have it here. So that was a quote that I learned a long time ago. But also when you're involved in like trade fairs or conferences, to ask for help. And 9 times or 10 times out of 10, you will have the support from those people because they trust you. And so you just never give up on those people that have been with you for a long time. And some of us that have been around for a very long time still have original associates and managers that have been with us for 30, 40 years. So once people are convinced that we have the best product, they're with you for life. And so that's what I found here. It's such an encouragement to come here and see different ones, even when we had the memorial with different ones that have passed away this year. It touched us all deeply because we remember all of those people sitting with them at a convention table one year or whatever. So here we are all as one big family. So don't take for granted the bond that you can develop with people and spend time with them.
For customers, I make sure that they also know that I'm available to them at all times. And through Taffy, that's one thing I make clear to them is that they can, once they've paid their fee and have become a Taffy grad, I am theirs. And I say it like that, I am yours, so use me. Phone me when you need something and don't be scared. Redo those BSQs, phone me. And another part that we teach in Taffy is just for them to do BSQs on people. So then they'll phone and ask for guidance, so I help them with that. With my business managers, I try to do emails with them also again, just be there for them whenever they need help. Also asking them, like, which trade fairs would you like to do together? Do you want to do an in-home presentation somewhere? So just giving them that support. And it's been working.
Excellent stuff. Isn't it neat you get to learn from others, too? I love this. I'm going home with a few ideas here. I'm going to back up a little bit. How do you find customers? Something I wanted to encourage and give you a tip out there. One thing I did this last year was I did a little business card, and on that business card I put gift of health. And that gift of health, and underneath it I put it a free mini health consultation. And I put a value on it of $50. And then, of course, on the back of the card, I invited them to go on my NSP site, which if you don't have an NSP website, I really encourage you for the price it is. It's very valuable. And literally get them to go there to fill out a questionnaire form, or, of course, they can request from me the BSQ, and I'll go from that with it. And then how do I keep them? Of course, over the years in the clinic, it's pretty easy to keep because these are result-oriented products. So when you get results, again, word of mouth just takes off. So I always had a exceptional, I've got clients that are some 30, and go back 28, 30 years. So when you have people still on purchasing and buying over that period of time, it tells you what your products do. And we've really seen that presented here with the science that was represented by the scientists and by Linda Hammonds and the different things that are happening there. So our associates, one of the things that we're really working on is, for example, Nature Sunshine. They're bringing Cindy Clements to Kelowna, Vancouver, Nanaimo, and where was the other area? Yep, okay, up in Eugene's area there. And so we set a goal, and of course we called Donna the Colonel. I get called the Sergeant Major, but she's the Colonel. So we kind of listen to what the Colonel would like, and then we set our goals and we follow that. And for example, about a year ago, the goal was to get 50 people to a Nature Sunshine meeting when they came. Well, then it was 60. Well, then it was 70. Well, then it was 75. Well, then it was 100. Well, we're at that. We're at that peak of 100 people at our meetings. And that's contacting your associates, contacting your customers, contacting any new people you've met, whether it be at fairs or whatever, and encouraging them to come. My managers, I'm so proud of every one of them. I'm sure all of you out here that have them, you just must feel like a mother hen. I feel I got all these little chicks under my wing, and how do I help them sprout and grow? So it's a learning curve, a lot of that for me as well as for them. But some of the things we're doing is we have a program called BAT, Business Associate Training, and we encourage them to be a part of that so that we can get into the guts of really understanding the business aspect of Nature Sunshine and how you can prosper from that. One of the things that I hear a lot, even from my own downline, and bless their hearts, because most people in this business are compassionate. And they're so compassionate, they give everything, their time and everything away free. And that's okay, because years ago before I started out, I was working 2 other jobs and then helping people on the weekend, and I never charged anything because I just felt like, oh my goodness, how could you charge anybody, right? Then, one day I came home, and it was a year after my husband was completely disabled at home, and God had told me to walk away from what I was doing and to go into this business full time. And I had to start charging. And you know what? It's not wrong. It's not wrong to expect something out of your income, to add to your income besides the herbs. Within form, you put a lot of time and effort in there, so naturally that should be part of your income. And I really encourage that in closing. Realize that you have a value. Of course, we always want the compassion to come first. The person comes first. Never think about the money when you're working with the person, because all you're thinking about is the health. But think about also afterwards, you do need to put food on your own table, and God will always provide that way and guide you and to do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies. Thank you. And you touched on where I wanted to finish up with here is the meetings that you said that are coming up. So we're so blessed to have Cindy Clement, and she's flying out, and she's going to do Mississauga and then St. Albert, Kelowna, Nanaimo, Vancouver. We are also going to have meetings in St. Catharines on November 9th. We have a meeting in Newmarket on November 10th. That's north of Toronto. We will be in Calgary on Tuesday, November 3rd. So we have other events as well. So let's just get the word out, and let's get our people there to impact them. We've got one question, and then we got to wrap up.
Yeah, usually, as you know, when all these beautiful bargains, buy 3, get 1 free, come on, you end up buying extra product. And so when I do fairs and stuff, it's a great opportunity to take it out and work at getting it out of the stock mode and into people's hands. The other thing that I'm just doing, for example, is I've was asked actually last year from a fair if I would do a fair down in a fair and wellness fair and do some workshops down in the Kamloops area. For all of you who know that, it's the Interior Health and Wellness. So we're doing 4 Nature Sunshine workshops. And the only other person there that's doing anything like that is one 1-hour workshop from Nature's Fair. So look at the opportunity that has come about through doing this type of thing, right? So with that, you bet, I'm putting out a lot of money. Nature Sunshine is helping with that booth. They help you with a third of the cost. But I'm going above and beyond. I've made little booklets for people. We've made banners. We call it the Taffy Wall of Fame, and we have success stories and testimonies on there of people that have succeeded. And I'm pretty excited about that. And yes, we will have a lot of our new products and things there.
Well, thank you so much, lovely ladies, for your wisdom here. I definitely think we helped a lot of people. Thank you.
One more hand for this great panel up here, huh? And thank you, Rancha. Woo! This has been a great conference.